Yo!
Hey.
What's happening?
What's going on?
The auto show just happened, or is happening if you listen to it on Monday.
Yeah.
If you listen to it on Tuesday, it happened. Here's why I'm bringing that up, is because the area we talking about, the auto show, happened for the very first time in this area.
Yeah.
And today's episode is about motors. Cars. Automobiles. And
motors. Get this just started.
if you like this podcast,
Nope, not that part. Just go ahead,
please rate, subscribe, listen to this podcast. All right,
yeah,
7% Flavor Shy, all over the place.
You know what time it is.
Yeah, you know what time it is. If you are a YouTube subscriber, also that's good for you. If you're not a YouTube,
that's good for you.
If you are not, go ahead.
Go ahead, do what's good for you. Just subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. 77 Flavors Shy. Or 77 Flavors of Chicago. Let's get it. 77 Flavors of Chicago. Right now.
It's Sarah.
And it's Dario.
And we traveled through all of Chicago's 77 community areas. We shared some great stories and took you to our favorite restaurants.
But you know what? There's more Chicago history and food to discover.
So join us as we connect you to the greatest city in the world.
You know why? Because this is 77 Flavors of Chicago. Somebody gonna have to remix this for us.
There it is. That's your remix.
No, that's not the one I'm looking for. That's not what I had in my heart. No, that's not what I had in my heart.
Someone named Tyler did that.
All Tylers are listening to this angry shaking their fist. I didn't make that.
Right.
Anyway, what's cracking?
What's going on?
What's going on? I'm tired as hell.
Yeah.
I'm tired. If y'all
Why?
don't, why? I was in California, San Diego, Torrey Pines.
Yeah, buddy.
Golf course out there for the first drive event by Chevrolet. Chevrolet flew us out, and us being black people outside, they've been on the podcast. They are a dope influencer group, couple like Sarah and myself, and they travel all over the world. All over the world, all over the country.
I mean, they do travel all over the world.
They do. They really do.
Their content is outdoors content within the United States.
Yes.
So it's a really cool page. Yeah. Go check them out.
And so Chevrolet reached out to them to come out there and do some content work. Mm-hmm. They reached out to me to help capture that content work.
Yeah, buddy.
So I was out there, Torrey Pines, with them. Chevrolet.
Get the UGC.
Get the UGC, and I lost my train of thought mid-sentence. Oh, and I it was the first drive. I got to drive to Chevrolet Colorado. And fantastic car. I'm not a big truck person. However, that was very good. It didn't feel like a truck. The amenities in that thing are just fantastic.
Is it called amenities?
Yeah.
I think it's called features.
I mean, I think go either way. Features and amenities.
What is the definition of amenities?
I don't know.
I think that's like a pool, barbecue spot.
Yeah.
Are there open flame grills on the rooftop? Those are amenities.
Yeah.
Got co-working space.
You said things that are habits of the car. That's a feature. Anyway, I was out there for that. So why I'm tired is because I was on a plane. I had to get up to catch my shuttle at 4:30 a.m. California time just to be back here. We got back here and I got right to editing. Then we went out and we did the podcast. So I did this literally. This is
wild.
This is 11th hour. I had a nice plane ride. I had two good rides to and from, and it's very rare. I talked about this. I had sisters that were sitting in between me. I mean that I'd sat in between. Anyway,
okay. All right, look at you. Now the story changed.
Average age was 70 years old.
It's irrelevant. That's irrelevant.
Anyway, so I was sitting next to them. They were sisters. The funny part about that, they're very talkative. They didn't want to sit next to each other. When I finally arrived on the plane, they were like, "Oh, good." I was like, "What's going on here?" And they were like, "We just didn't want to sit next to each other." So they didn't. I had the middle seat anyway, and they were just like, "Oh God, I didn't even want to look at her." No.
Yeah.
They were very, very nice. And then I forgot one was Nancy. The other one, I forgot the other one. But they were just visiting.
Nice.
Then on the way back, had another dope person that I sat next to, Jess. And give them shout outs to all the people here that I talked to. Very cool. We talked, and she does not like this cold weather. Probably wanted to stay over there, but very dope. Very dope as our dog comes. So now I'm editing.
Yeah.
How were you this weekend without me?
Good. This was the first weekend that I spent here by myself.
You and the dog.
Me and the dog. And it was weird.
Yeah.
But, it went by quick. It was 48 hours. It was quick. But, yeah.
Yeah, but you said, fuck it. No.
I mean, I didn't do anything too fun. You
just chilled out.
I just chilled. I ordered Indian food.
$40, $50 worth?
First of all, you don't need to be airing my shit out like this.
What? All the time you can air my chicken nuggets? I got people questioning me about chicken nuggets.
You don't need to tell people my
big chicken, small chicken, D'Oreal.
Because you said that. You said that out of your grown-ass mouth. You said, are chicken nuggets made out of small chickens?
Anyway, you got to bring up bullshit.
You brought it up.
No. But you had fun.
Yes.
$50 worth of That's pretty good.
Okay, well.
That's pretty good. You ready? You ready to talk about?
I am ready.
So check it out.
I'm really excited about this one.
This is the dope one, y'all. We actually, remember a couple episodes ago, we actually did, we stumbled across Motorola during another episode. We promised you that we'd be back. We came back very soon.
We came back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we telling you all about Motorola.
Yeah.
Yeah, Motorola's pretty dope. This Sarah's going to be kind of like the facilitator of this one. I'm just going to kick it off. What is Motorola? What is a Motorola?
Yeah, so are you going to tell us?
Oh, I was going to tell that part.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Motorola's, okay, and you probably never really heard of this, even though it's pretty prevalent here in Chicago. Motorola is where cities across America, when the car became very popular, started being manufactured, they had these things called Motorolas in different communities around the cities around America, and a Motorola is literally just a row of buildings that showcase the cars.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. So if you think, we don't have that a lot around here. We call them car malls now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the thing. It's like a car mall.
On Clark, there's a few showrooms.
Yeah.
There's a Honda.
That's still like a car mall. Like this is, think y'all, blocks of car just up and down the street. That's what it is. So that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
Motorola. And Chicago's Motorola was founded in 1905. And, I learned, Sarah taught me this one. This is considered the largest intact motor colony in the United States, maybe the world. Awesome, yeah. And just to give some context, there were 116 different makes of auto cars. I'm down bad. Makes of cars that were sold on Motorola, sold and repaired on Motorola.
Right.
Pretty dope.
And what's really cool about it, so the way that the masonry of the buildings, the front of the buildings, is called a street wall, and they kind of like create this like wall of cool buildings down the street down in Michigan.
It's cool because they're all uneven. Like, so if
they're different shapes, different sizes, different styles. The every building, not every building, but a lot of the buildings that we're going to talk about today have very famous architects.
Yeah.
And very famous Chicago architects, very famous international architects, and it was like a huge thing.
Yeah, it was a huge thing, and I think if you go down the block, and this, now that I was thinking about it, right? Because we talk about how the buildings kind of like uneven, and you really never pay attention to the building size unless you're talking about like a historic district or you talk about something like this. It really, when you look at it, they are very different. There's different levels of like there's no evenness to that block, and when you look at it, you're like, damn, this is a historic place. It's just buildings, just that they put up.
Yeah.
I will disclaimer with this episode, we never do it like this, but I would say I would probably encourage you to, if you want to see what we're talking about, check out the YouTube this time.
I agree.
Not to just say, hey, go to YouTube, but this one specifically, because visually you probably want to look and see what we're doing, because we're going to list them off and describe it, but that's not going to do too much. History would be there, but you probably want to see these. So.
Right. Yeah. So imagine this. We're going to start from the 2400 block of South Michigan Avenue, right?
Work our way north.
And work our way north. That is just the route that we chose. And I kind of thought it would be like a cool juxtaposition, really, because the 2400 block of Michigan Avenue is where the Illinois Automobile Club is located, right on that corner.
Mm-hmm.
And it was built in 1936, but never completed. It was meant to be, like almost like not almost, but it was definitely meant to be like a social club for the wealthy car owners to commune, really.
Yeah.
And
so like a literal club,
a literal social club, yeah. And
for the car owners,
right? For the car owners,
that's crazy.
Not the car manufacturers, but the wealthy car people that enjoyed
that's
cars.
A different. I guess it's just a golf club now.
Yeah,
like
I mean, there's still auto clubs.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I mean, you get there's the Corvette, your auto club. Harley Davidson is huge auto club. Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, they still exist, but this specific one was just never completed. It was meant to take up the entire block, and even the clock tower was supposed to be about 10 stories high, but it's not. It's like two to 3 stories high, and the reason it wasn't completed was because of the eventual downfall of Motor Row, which we'll talk about towards the end of this episode. Yeah. But I thought starting there would be kind of like an interesting point, that they like decided to build this huge thing, and then it ended, and so we're gonna walk our way up from there.
We're gonna walk our way up. I'm for the other audio portion of this, I'm gonna stay right here and start also right here, because in that same building, the auto club was the Chicago Defender,
right?
And that's significant because the Chicago Defender, and I'll tell you in a second, that was obviously significant. We talked about this several times on the podcast, right? We had a few Bronzeville episodes, and the Chicago Defender is primarily known for being in Bronzeville.
Right.
Actually has a landmark plaque right there.
Yep.
Now, it was here in this building, and kind of the significance of that being there is around this time, right? When 1905, 1906. The automobile is getting built, and cars around America. The Green Book is something that's important, right? Now, think about this, right? Black people were just starting to come up during the Great Migration, right around 1910, right? Right around 1910. So that means they were in this area. They had space in this area right around that time.
Yeah.
And to give you some context with that, Abbott Costello, the owner of the Chicago Defender, he wrote an article that kind of encouraged, and it was kind of called, I forgot what it was, the Great Movement or something like that. That's what he called it, right? The article and encouraging people to get out of the South and avoid Jim Crow laws, right? Black people. So come up, right? That started in 1911. I want to say. However, he did that. The cool thing is about that, how it spread, because I don't think we've ever said how it actually spread.
Right.
That article was given to the Pullman Porters. The Pullman Porters, y'all. And as it was given to the Pullman Porters, they kind of rode around on the trains, because they were essentially... they were free, not essentially free. They were free black people that were on the trains, worked as maids and stewardess and stewards of the train, right? And so they traveled all around the country.
Right.
What better way to spread the news than the Pullman Porters?
Yeah.
And so the Pullman Porters would take these papers down to the South and wherever they went, and people saw, hey, Chicago is dope. They got the shopping centers, they got job opportunities. People are free up there. It's cool. Clubs, nightlife, entertainment was booming in Chicago. So that's why people came up here. That's how people came up here through the Pullman Porters. I read somewhere, excuse me, damn, I haven't done that in a long time.
Take a shot, yo.
Yeah, take a shot. Let's remind people, because I haven't done it in so long.
We running joke, if Dario burps on the podcast, you gotta take a shot.
Gotta take a shot. And it hasn't happened in a very long time, y'all.
A few months ago, you would be plastered.
You'd be fucking tore up. But I read somewhere that that paper, one paper was read by 5 to 6 black people. So when you think about that, 2 to 6 black
that's
people,
crazy.
that's a lot of people that kind of got the spread. So, and another thing I just realized, I didn't know the breakdown of the time frame of when people, how the Great Migration. We know that 6.5 million people moved, and we know that Chicago had about 600,000.
Yeah.
We know that, right? From 1910 to about 1940, only 1.5 million people moved. Now, I say only because that's still another 5 million people that had to migrate from 1940 to roughly 1970. So think about that. That's about the same
amount of time.
Same amount of time,
years.
30 years, but you had like 5 times the amount. You know what I mean? Like of people.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's and the cool and I never knew that it was called like a great movement thing.
Wow.
They encourage people. So
that's really cool.
That's the start of Motor Row at the bottom up part of Motor Row.
The bottom part of Motor Row. And just to give you an idea of what these buildings look like, of course, like we mentioned, they were built in different styles. And we'll run through some of the fun facts about them. But really, they were meant to mimic the mansions of the people that lived in that area, mostly on Prairie Avenue. And we'll do another entire episode on that area. But people like Marshall Field lived there. George Pullman lived there. Really wealthy people, that like movers and shakers in the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And so it made sense that Motor Row was placed there because, and so when you see a lot of those buildings, you see that it kind of looks like the homes of the neighborhood. Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. The mansions, not homes. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, right. don't disrespect
there
people
are mansions,
like that.
not homes. So one of our favorite buildings on the street was it's on 2301 through 2313. That is the Cadillac, Saxon, and Cowes showroom. Yeah. And one of the cool things about Motor Row is if you had a corner showroom, that is a prime spot.
Yeah, you ballin'.
Right? Yeah. These showrooms were built between 1911 and 1915. And what's cool about them is the architects that built the Cowes and Saxon buildings also built Soldier Field and City Hall, which is like such a cool.
Yeah. That's something that you just wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, like that's cool. Like so and just to give you all context as to where we are near Southside, and we're like literally west of the McCormick Place.
Right.
And which is McCormick Place is just south of like literally in the same damn parking lot as Soldier Field. You can see it on the green line as you come through.
Yeah.
So
and
dope.
That's what we took down. We took the green line down to McCormick Place. But yeah, and I just love the idea that all these buildings, and a lot of these buildings have the markings of the name of the brand that manufactured the cars on the stone wall. Because obviously there were like no banners, no signs, and no like neon signs or anything like that. So that's a way to like make your brand last forever. Yeah. Premier is a very important one. They have 3 buildings on Motor Row, 2 of the same style and one a more modern style. Premier doesn't exist anymore. Right. But they have 3 buildings, and you clearly see.
And you can see what they're
Premier.
And so 2 things as you were just talking. I just thought of this. We know the outside of the buildings have significance, and sometimes you can see the historical markings. I wonder what is on the inside of these buildings.
So I can actually tell you what's on the inside of some of these buildings. The inside of these buildings were mostly large, spacious, open showrooms. Different manufacturers chose to have the insides look different, but the ones that were 2 floors mostly had a bottom showroom, and then you would travel, like you would take this like grand staircase upstairs, and that's where you would like sign your contract, put out your car. It's really like where you did your shopping. But really the message they were trying to do was that the car would take you anywhere. So like when you stepped in the showroom, it didn't look like you were in Chicago. They would have like palm trees and like just really cool things that you wouldn't see.
I wonder if any like carvings or markings are on the buildings. inside.
They are.
Damn, we need to try to go in some.
I know you would have to. Some of them are closed and available for lease. Some of them are actual landmarks. Some of them are currently occupied.
Okay. That's just my thought.
Yeah. No, but that would be really cool. One of them is the next one on 2232 South Michigan is the Marmon Car Company, which was built in 1922. So kind of like 15 years into or 20 years into the founding of Motor Row. But you can clearly see the name.
Yeah.
Right in the facade of the
Twice.
building.
Twice. There's one a very ornate green and gold type of right at the archway, the threshold of the building, and then if you right above it, towards the top roof,
you can't miss it.
You can't miss, and these are things that are missed. Yeah. We've been down this street so many times.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like I've never even known that. One thing. I'm sidebar again.
Yeah.
That I'm kind of disappointed. I didn't even realize those pillars that say Motor Row.
I know.
There's two big pillars, kind of like the ones in Bronzeville. And like the archway over the sidewalk in Old Town.
Yep.
That say Motor Row. Like, and then there's 3 different signs.
I know.
On along Michigan Avenue. How do we not miss? Oh my goodness. How do we not see this? I
know.
Sorry.
It's crazy.
Keep going.
And then right next to the Marmon Car Company on 2222 South Michigan is the Hudson Motor Company, which was the first to be built in the Spanish Baroque style. Yeah. It's being renovated, so we couldn't see the building. But it's also really cool.
If you get up on the building, you can see what's coming soon. The renovation that they're planning on doing looks fantastic. It looks. I mean, they got little columns that are going to be all the way up. Man, that's going to be.
Yeah,
that's going to be.
And I think
fire.
it's going to be open to the public. It looked like it was.
Like
a hall.
Like a common space.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like.
Next is on 2000 South Michigan is Locomobile Motor Company, which was built in 1909. And actually, Locomobile made the first American car to win the Vanderbilt Cup.
Hey, 1906.
1906.
2 years later.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, 2 years later, Cubs won the World Series.
Hey. So this was actually a car that was a favorite of William Wrigley. Among many other people, but
George Pullman is one of those.
George Pullman was one of those. And the cost of the Model 48 at the time was $7,000, which is like well over $1 million today.
That's out of control. The most expensive car right now, I think, is $13 million or maybe $23.
That's insane.
Yeah. So just imagine like a car like that back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. A $7,000 car, you had
imagine?
to be going crazy. Yeah, you had to be balling.
I mean, William Carnegie drove that car.
Yeah. Like, Pullman, Vanderbilt. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
John Pershing.
Yeah.
Like all those people.
Yeah.
And then what's really cool is the church right across the street from that. So they also have a corner building that's pretty large. I think it's like 3 or 4 stories. Right across the street.
They got a big one.
Right across the street is the church that Pullman and Marshall Field used to go to.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's also fun fact about that is Chicago's second oldest it's a Presbyterian church?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's a second Presbyterian church.
It was like 1834?
I think so. Yeah. It was landmarked in 2013.
That's crazy.
But second oldest church in one of those churches. And also we say now, again, Sarah's right. Y'all think about where we are. We have to talk about Prairie Avenue at some point.
Yeah.
Right? Soon. Soon. Because we're in that neighborhood. This is like where they will go to shop and hang out.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like this is why
they really made this area.
Yeah, right. I mean, in Pullman, we know that dude was all the way far south. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, he was. He wasn't paying either. That's how the rich stay rich. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're literally like a block to the west of where they live.
Literally.
Yeah, like a block west. Of all this.
Yeah.
So.
And then the next building, which is 1925 South Michigan, that one is a great example of buildings that were built to match the neighborhood. It has a green top. It literally looks like a mansion on top.
Yeah, it did look like a house.
Yeah, it's built in that like empire style.
Yeah.
And it was the BF Goodrich Company, and it was built in 1911.
BF Goodrich, people was getting tires out there.
Yeah.
That had to be one of the repair shops because that's not a car, that's the tires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then next after that is
See, you getting close
14.
to 17. Oh, well, I guess, yeah.
No. 1454, which was Buick, and that was built in 1907. You can see the Buick name.
That was dope.
That was really cool.
Because Buick's still around.
Right, Buick is still around, yeah.
Buick's still here.
Yeah. And then our final stop on 1444 through
listen up, this is the coldest
1446 was the Ford showroom.
Mm-hmm. That's cold. The
Ford
showroom.
You want to tell us why it's cold?
Here's why it's cold, y'all. For one, it was the first showroom to open up on Motor Row. Not surprising that Ford would do it
at all. Henry was like, "Give me that.
Yeah.
Give me that lot."
Yeah. Also, this was the first Ford's first store outside of Michigan.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Right. Chicago was the first place they opened up and sold more in their existence. That's nuts to me. That Chicago is that damn dope. Like we've been dope for a long time.
Literally.
Like, could you imagine like if people like me was around, I'd be flexing on everybody. You know what I mean?
I mean, you do that now. So.
Right. Like times 10 though. Like it'd be overdrive. Yeah. I'd be like, you don't have a Ford and Locomobile in your city.
Literally.
They'd be like, man, shut your ass up, dude. Shut your ass up.
Shut your ass up.
Shut your ass, Second City ass.
Damn.
That's why y'all burned down, though.
That's disrespectful.
But the decline, like all this cool shit.
Yeah, so we got to the beginning.
Yeah.
Now we're at 1905.
Yeah.
This is the beginning. Tell us how it declined.
So here's how it declined. Long story short, the Great Depression that kicked everybody's ass, right? Mm-hmm. That was like a trickle effect because that means all the money in that area just left. You know, the people in that area just left because, you know, nobody's buying these cars. We can't afford this shit. We've been horse and buggy for a long time. We can go back to that. You know what I mean? Like, so that's kind of like the thought process. But this area, again, more context, was like Chicago's Gold Coast. And if you are not familiar with Chicago Gold Coast, those that don't live here, that is like that's the bougie part of town, right? Yeah. That's the bougie part of town.
It's like $4,000 for a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, you know, it's ridiculous, right? This was that. Prairie Avenue was that before. So the South Side was lit. Not only did you have Bronzeville, but a little bit further north on the South Side, you got this, right? Mm-hmm. Which was the Gold Coast. Yeah. All the who's who of Chicago lived here, right?
Right.
They left. But do you know why they left? Check this out, y'all. This is another reason why they left. And why the Gold Coast actually became the Gold Coast. They left because at this time, the Michigan Avenue Bridge was completed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and when the Michigan Avenue Bridge was completed, that's how they got across the river and was like, yo.
There's cooler shit over here.
There's more land up here.
Wow.
So let's everybody start relocating to the Gold Coast. Yeah. All those Pullman, Marshallville, everybody. Yeah.
I was gonna say there's a park over there, and like, you know, it was pretty nice. It was already pretty nice. So yeah, as soon as they were able to, they dipped.
They dipped out. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's how the Gold Coast started.
Yeah. And when, you know, obviously World War II.
Yeah.
So now, it was just a.
There's one more thing that we want to talk about. There's a bunch of stuff on Motor Row, but there's another thing that's really dope.
Honestly, Motor Row has some really, really cool history.
There's a shit ton.
Like you could do history on each one of these segments by itself. Like you could do just on the car, just on the churches. There's so much stuff. But this specific one is one of my favorites that we discovered. We did not discover it. Right. We learned about while we were walking around, and it is Chess Records, or Chess Production Company. So let me tell you a little bit. 1950, 2 Polish brothers opened up Chess
I thought they were
Records.
Jewish.
Nope. They're Polish-Jewish. Polish.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So basically, what happened is Leonard and Phil. Their last name is Chess. They're immigrants from Poland, and they liked working together. They started out in they did a bunch of different things. They had a liquor store, and then at one point they opened a club. In 1946, it became pretty popular, and while this was the height of the Great Migration, and they started seeing this like new style of music that they hadn't heard before, that Black people would play and enjoy and dance to, and all that, and that was the blues.
They said, let's monetize this.
Well, they wanted to go into kind of like the record field, I guess, production, and so they met the Evelyn. Who was the owner of Aristocrat Records, right? And they became very, very good friends. She introduced them to Muddy Waters, and I mean, Muddy Waters is credited with a lot of the success of Chess Records,
right? Because
he not only was he at the forefront of a lot of things that I'm about to mention, but really he released some of his most popular music through Chess Records. But anyway, so they bought Aristocrat Records from Evelyn and they turned it into Chess Records.
Yep.
And they took the shift from like the acoustic country blues to the electric blues in 1948. And that was really with Muddy Waters' first... He released his first Chess single, which was The Rolling Stone in 1950.
Okay.
Right? And then...
Brain fart here?
A little bit. No, I'm trying to remember the correct... Because once Muddy Waters started doing the electric blues, he started to perform with a band, which was really the first time that anyone had gone on stage with like a complete band. And that was like the beginning of a rock band, really. Before that didn't exist. He even had a harmonica player, which... then went on to release The Juke, which was a really cool part of the story. But yeah, that was
pretty dope. That's so also
there's so much to their history. There's so much to their story.
Rolling Stones. They made they recorded one of their songs, definitely inspired by this building, called 2120 South Michigan Avenue, as paying homage to what's happening here.
Yeah. They named themselves after Muddy Waters' song.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The Rolling Stone. Rolling Stones.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
And
Southside was lit, man. God, dog. The Southside was just too lit. Like, anyway, we talked about this.
But yeah, Little Walter was the guy that released the song. He kind of convinced Muddy to let him record after a recording session, and he just recorded a harmonica portion, and then they released it and that was The Juke, and people loved it.
People was like, yo, what is this? Why am I bobbing and dancing like that? Like, this is crazy.
I know.
Bounce and break your back.
Literally.
Bounce and break your back.
And then in 1969, they wanted to go into TV production, so they sold Chess Records for $6.5 million.
Boy,
but unfortunately...
Imagine that on Motorola.
Yeah.
Anything you want.
Literally. But unfortunately, Leonard passed away in October of 1969, so they could not... go into that business because Phil was by himself. But I mean, there's so much to their story, and BBC did a great documentary on them with Leonard's son was in it. So
fun fact, Universal Music Group now owns.
Oh yeah.
Now owns Chess Records. They went through. We won't go into it, but they went through some different litigation, selling the stuff and like getting it back, and it's a pretty interesting story when you go into great detail. But that's what that building is. Last time we stumbled and we kind of were like, what is this?
Right. And we mentioned Muddy Waters a lot, but there's a
whole bunch of artists.
So many wonderful electric blues artists that came through, and artists in general that came through Chess Records. I mean, they were the blueprint for rock and roll.
Right.
Really, they were like the beginning of it. So, but Muddy Waters was such a critical part of their come up that you can't really tell their story without mentioning him. But literally, like, they went crazy.
And that inspired today's food choice.
Yeah, buddy.
77 Flavors. We'll talk about it as soon as we get back. Let's go.
Welcome back to the food portion of this episode.
Yeah, buddy.
And we thought, like Daria mentioned, that we would go to a blues-inspired
Yeah.
place to eat today.
Yeah.
And not just any.
Not just anyone.
Not just anyone.
The one.
The one. The one. We went to Buddy Guy's Legends.
Let's go.
And which is 700 South Wabash Avenue, right north of Motor Row. You
Literally.
can just take the bus, the number 3 bus.
If you get on your local mobile,
No, that shit don't exist.
and then ride up, get on your Buick.
You know?
Only what? 4 minutes car ride?
Yeah, I mean it was a 5-minute bus ride.
Yeah, so like
you know.
4 minutes in the local mobile.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Just up Michigan.
Just up Michigan.
But yeah, so the restaurant, this place opened, it wasn't at this location to begin with. They recently moved here like in 2010, I believe, but before that they were at a different location. But even before that, there was Buddy's started a jazz club on the south side that was super popular, and then he moved away from that and started his own place.
And for those of you that are like, yo, of course we love Buddy. Man, y'all already know this is like a legendary spot.
Yeah.
You already know that, right? But if you're not from Chicago and you're looking for a place to go, blues music 7 nights a week. And let me tell you, they have different things in there, such as the Grammys that he's won, the guitars from other people that have performed there.
Yep.
We and I'm talking
pictures. I don't know if you saw the bar, but the bar is full of pictures.
Yes. Yes, I saw it. And it's like, honestly, you said it. It's like a museum.
It is, yeah.
It's a museum.
It's meant to be like a mini museum for Buddy. It's so cool.
Very cool.
The space is large too.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like you're too crowded or anything like that, and it was just wonderful.
And you know what else was wonderful? The food.
Yeah, buddy.
The food was, when I tell you this was top. I don't know if this is gonna take my Chicago card or not, but that was my first time in Buddy Guys. Yeah. I've known about it. I haven't been to Buddy Guys. This is my first time. I knew all about it. I knew what they do. Yep. Yeah. But never been there. And the food,
it was good. It was good. We started off with the catfish tenders.
Lord have mercy.
That came over a bed of fries. They have those fries that are like so airy on the inside and crunchy on the outside. I don't know if that's a good description of them, but they're pretty good. But tell us about the catfish tenders.
Let me tell you. First of all, catfish is fire, period. You know what I mean? Like, but the way this was breaded to like perfection, no bones, no bones. That's the thing with catfish. Catfish, boy, you got to watch out for them bones, or your ass
but
gonna
this
be.
Was
Yeah, it was, but still, like you still got to eat catfish with caution. But this perfect breading, the flavor, the seasoning, everything was just immaculate. Like the tartar sauce that it came with.
The tartar sauce was really good.
No,
it wasn't regular tartar sauce. Right. It was like seasoned tartar sauce.
Yeah, right. What the hell are they doing with it? Like that tartar sauce was just different, y'all.
Yeah,
like
it was.
Like normally tartar sauce is like, okay, it's a good mix and it's kind of bland if you're being honest. It's just a good compliment. This could have stood solo. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like
you mean you would eat tartar sauce with a spoon?
I mean, not when you say it like that. No, hell no. but
it was too solo.
I guess what I'm saying is it was good enough to what would I do? Maybe it couldn't go solo, but like you know what I'm saying. Like it was very good.
Like I say, everything I eat is a vessel for a sauce.
Yeah, and that's a hell of a sauce right there. You could, you know what? You probably throw a little bit of hot sauce in it too.
Okay,
that would have set it off. Look at. Showed the dance. But it was good. It was very good.
The next thing we had was the jambalaya, which is Buddy's choice. God. Jambalaya. Here's my thing. It was really good, but I do have 2 critiques.
What's up?
The rice was cold.
The rice was cold? Oh, I didn't even know. I was scooping and eating.
And 2, it was too tomatoey.
I don't have those same critiques. I don't.
That's fine. That's just my
opinion.
Right. We don't
have
to have the same opinion.
You're right.
Mr. Baby Chicken Tender.
Wow, look, why did I get roasted after she, in her same breath, saying you can have the same opinion, then just flame my ass?
Because one of us is right and one of us is you. So.
No, what? Y'all. I mean, what's going on? Look, will I disagree with my chest out? This shit was that to me. It was good. No flaws.
I've had better.
No, I have not.
You know what? You've made better.
What, me?
Yeah.
No, I ain't gonna take
the one
credit
time
like
that you made it.
No, that wasn't better.
It was.
I was shitting for a week. That
What?
was
No, you weren't.
It was.
I mean, I wasn't.
I was too. It was. I went too crazy with the chili powder.
But you know what I did love?
What?
Is the burger.
Yeah. What?
So the Buddy's Black and Blue burger,
Mm-hmm.
and it is flame broiled patty, cooked with a spicy blackened seasoning, topped with blue cheese crumbles, lettuce, tomato, and pickle.
Okay. Yeah. So I know I wouldn't normally do blue cheese like any time in any situation.
Yeah,
But this was good.
it was really good.
It was very good.
Yeah.
I mean the
'Cause
burger.
it wasn't too much blue cheese that it was overpowering.
Right.
It was way more meat than blue cheese.
Yes. And
That's what she said.
the
What is the blue cheese in this scenario?
you said way more meat.
Oh.
And
That's where it ends?
That's where it
Way more
ends.
meat. That's what she said.
Yeah, that's where it ends. But no, the way they made it, it was like the blue cheese was centralized, so it
Yeah.
wasn't like the blue cheese was just falling off.
Right.
Also,
right. It wasn't too much.
it was like everybody had some blue cheese in
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
had more per bite as you get closer
Yeah.
to the middle, but that was good.
Yeah.
Little ketchup on there is all you need.
Right. I would say there was no sauce on the burger.
There was no sauce on the burger.
You know.
But I will say this: that burger was so good for it to be without sauce. Like
yeah, I would say the patty was juicy and it was seasoned with that blackened sauce that you almost felt like there was a sauce on there.
Yeah.
But it's really just the juice from the meat
yeah,
with the seasoning.
that'll get you every time.
The juice from the meat is really what you gotta avoid.
You talking about see you 10 months later?
Nope. No, you won't. Also, it's 9.
Anyway,
But
damn, whatever. Damn, whatever. Yeah, that was good. That on the list of burgers you got.
It was good.
You had to talk about it in the conversation. I feel,
yeah,
but it was very good.
Worth trying.
Yeah.
The next thing we had
Last
last thing. I'm sorry. We had the red hot and blue chicken sandwich.
That chicken sandwich didn't last enough.
It did not.
It didn't last.
It was battered and fried chicken.
It was
Tossed in buffalo sauce, topped with blue cheese crumbles, lettuce, tomato, and pickle.
Yeah.
Buddy loved his blue cheese.
he sure did. Buddy loved blue cheese, and let me tell you,
Most things have blue cheese on them.
yeah, he got a fetish. Yeah, he got a fetish. Something.
Man,
I
it's
wonder
not
what
a
happened.
fetish.
What happened?
But
What happened?
I would say it's a large piece of chicken, and it's not, the breading is not too thick. So if you're not a fan of like too much breading, this one would be for you because it's not too much. Yeah, I mean, I liked it.
Yeah, I would say.
I'm not usually a fan of buffalo, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. You know what I would say? Anybody that's out here and you are in a relationship, it's not shareable. Because it's not shareable.
It's not. We
Because
tried,
we
but
tried.
Dario ate 75 million%.
No, that's not
You
where I'm
literally
going
ate
with this.
80% of it.
Well, here we go, airing me out. Like this is what is going on. This is what I was.
You know why? Because
Why?
in the beginning, an hour ago, you said I ordered $50 worth of Indian food.
You did.
Which you didn't need to say that.
Okay.
Okay. So you ate 80% of the fucking sandwich.
I mean, you got your lick back. Talk about the chicken nuggets. 2 episodes.
That's irrelevant.
Look at you. She just don't
I
let you
gotta
go.
hit them with something new.
Right. Anyway.
They need new tea.
Anyway, what I was saying was that sandwich is so good. I did not want to share.
Wow, but
Like-
you love me so much.
No, I just
Wow.
did it for the bit. No. Oh,
Wow.
no.
Well, all right, well, shut this shit down immediately.
No. I do this.
Bruh.
My bad, bro.
Wow, this shit just be getting worse. And y'all, somebody
I'm
come
going
get this
south.
man.
Oh, damn.
Somebody come get him.
Ooh,
massacre
Lord.
in this house.
Oh, Lord. It's asleep.
Said,
It's
bruh.
asleep.
No, I don't give a shit.
Damn.
You said, I said you love me so much. You said no. Don't get it twisted now.
No, that's not what I meant.
What do you mean?
I meant I'm sleepy. Damn. That's what that's it. Bro, your boy is
You only get like a few hours to use that excuse.
well, shit, I'm about to use them all. I'm about to exhaust that shit. Anyway.
Anyway.
The food was good.
It was.
Atmosphere was good.
I would say the vibe. I'm not. If I'm being honest, I'm not there for the food. I'm there for the vibe. The food is really good,
Yeah.
but I would go for the music. I would go for the drinks. They have some cocktails. Buddy has his own beer.
Yeah.
Called
Damn.
Buddy Brew.
I had a headache. I couldn't
know.
drink. I
Yeah.
couldn't. I wanted to so bad, but
Yeah,
no.
you had like 1,000 milligrams of ibuprofen in you, but it's called the
Swamp
Buddy
Loopy.
Brew. I would go for the for the experience.
Buddy Brew. Who naming these things for my boy?
I mean, Buddy.
Buddy
Buddy ass.
Buddy ain't sitting up there talking about, hey, this is the Buddy Brew. Maybe he is. I don't know.
That's a cool name.
You think so?
If your name started with a B, your beer would be something brew.
What is Dario's Delights? All right, I'm going home.
What the fuck
see
you
you.
at?
I don't know. Because you said, but what would I name mine? My name is Dario.
I didn't say that. I said if your name started with a B, yours
Right.
would be called.
Mine starts with a D. So what would mine be? Dario's
No,
Delights.
irrelevant. You can't have one. Go by your middle name, Lamar.
Hey, Lamar's. Oh my
Lickens.
God. I
know you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
I was just about to say. That's why I was like, ooh, this gonna sound bad.
Lamar looking good or some dumb shit like that. Anyway, all right. Well, if you like this episode, go ahead and send it to someone you like. This is unhinged behavior.
Yeah, buddy.
If you did not like this episode because of the last 15 minutes, that's not fair. We worked really hard on the first part.
We did. We put our all in that one.
Also, this is my first time doing history, so thank you for bearing with me and send me some nice comments because I'm self-conscious about it. Thank you.
Hey, y'all, have a great week. We'll see you. Oh, wait. Y'all come out to Thursday.
Oh, shit.
See you. Anyway, bye, y'all.
Hey, thank you so much for listening. We really hope you enjoyed that. Please follow us on all social media at 77 Flavors Shy. And if you have any ideas and things you want to learn about, please email us at media@77flavorsshy.com.
Yeah, and if you could, also head on over to our YouTube channel, same thing, 77 Flavors Shy, and give us a follow, give us a like, and give us a good rating there. Make some comments.
Only
Go ahead and
if you
subscribe.
like it.
We love y'all. See you next week.